we're going to talk about this for parents in the sense of what we call the 7 C's to resilience. So these are ways that we as parents can really help our kids in this area. So the first one is competence. So when we talk about competence, this is all of our ability to handle situations effectively. The only way we can become competent, or the only way your kids can become competent, is through actual experience. You can't become competent without developing skills to allow them to trust judgment, make choices, and face difficult situations. So we actually have to help facilitate this for them. So ways that we can do this, we can highlight what they're doing well. We can give them opportunities to acquire new skills, and really let mistakes happen so they can learn from them. Questions we can ask ourselves is, do I notice what they do well, or do I only focus on their mistakes? Or do I try to protect and send a message of, I don't think you can handle this? So really just asking ourselves some questions to see, how can I better support my kid around competence? The second one is confidence. So these kind of go hand in hand, of competence and competence, but we gain confidence by demonstrating competence in real situations. So when supported, we know that kids gain confidence to try new adventures and trust themselves to make good choices. So this is really where we want to be focusing on their ability to actually do things and our trust in them that they can do it. One thing that I think is important here, we are really good at saying, oh, I'm so glad you got an A in that class, or that you scored that soccer goal, or all these achievements that they made. But another thing that can really help with their confidence is really thinking of other ways to praise them that are not just on achievements, that are on their qualities as a person, such as fairness, integrity, persistence, kindness. Those are things that we also want to be pointing out to our kids and seeing as they demonstrate them as they grow. And really being specific in our praise and recognizing what they've done well and how they've done that as well. Our next one is connection. So connection is extremely important just for humans in general. It really gives us a solid sense of security. And connection can look like a lot of different things, but it's really just having people and community and support around us. So really asking yourselves, do we share time together, true time together, not on our phones or in front of a TV, but actually having quality time as a family? And with that, do I allow my child to express emotions and be supportive with them while they are dealing with that? We also want to be modeling relationships and what we would like them to have in relationships. So addressing conflict or talking about things, having that open communication. We also, with connection, want to be opening up doors for our kids so that they can, experience different types of connections through organizations or groups that they may show interest in. Even if it's not something we align with, it's important to let them know they can create relationships and connection outside of their family. The next one is character. So with character, we know that children in general, they need a sense of right and wrong to make good choices, to contribute to the world, and to handle difficult situations. So character is really the strong sense of self-worth and confidence. So questions we can ask ourselves about this is, do I help my child understand that how their behavior may affect other people? And on top of that, do I model the importance of caring for others as well? So being a role model in this is really important. Our next one is contribution. So this, we know in general, gives us a sense of purpose. It recognizes, it can let kids know that the world is a better place because they are in it and they are contributing to it. So a lot of this, again, is giving them opportunities to help others do things that maybe they're passionate about that can serve or help others. And this doesn't have to be big. Your kids don't need to be volunteering 40 hours a week, but it can be a good thing to ask them what would they like to contribute to and help them facilitate that in one way or another. And also another thing here is us showing this as well, us showing that this is important to us. We'll show that this is a value for them as well. Next one is coping. So with coping, I think this is a lot of times what we think about with resiliency. And it is a big piece, but it really is our ability to overcome those challenges that are inevitably going to come our way. So we want our kids to know how to have positive coping strategies. And the best way to do this is really us modeling this. And this is not always beautiful or perfect because we all have reactions to different things and they're natural, but we can, we can model to them what we hope for. And even if we handle a situation poorly or not the way we would want to, we can always come back and say, you know what, I didn't handle that the best way. This is how I should have handled it. And just having conversations with them on how we would hope we would like to see them cope and deal with issues that come their way. And then the last one is control. When it is recognized that kids have control of some of their outcomes, they are more likely to be able to bounce back from hard times. So really helping them recognize that their actions and choices do have consequences, both good and bad, but they do have some control over things. Asking yourself, do I help my child recognize even his small successes can really be a success in its own. I think especially for kids, they always look at that big picture of I wanted an A+ and I didn't get it, or I wanted to make that soccer team and I didn't get it. But helping them recognize the small successes they maybe had along the way can be really important as well. So those are in a nutshell, some of our, or all of the 7 C's to resiliency. One of the handouts kind of has a short description of these, as well as some questions you can ask yourself to see, where could I maybe improve in some of these areas? Where am I already doing well? Just to recognize the ways that we can help this within our children.
And what was the name of that handout that because they'll be able to access that?
Yeah, it's called the 7 C's to Building Resiliency.
Okay, so that is going to be found on the Impactful Parent website, which is theimpactfulparent.com/resources, and you'll be able to find it there. And so again, the name of that particular, because she's going to have, I think it's 4 handouts that you gave me to complement this video. This particular one is, again, called what, the 7 C's, you said?
7 C's to Building Resiliency.
Okay, great.